5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, young Garrett. In the nearby rooms, I will instruct you in the various skills you will need to survive. Please
Saving is fully allowed under this, thank God.
When you are ready to begin your lessons, proceed down this hallway to the first room. You must learn.
I see you there, lad.
Stay in the shadows. Avoid the light. The indicator on your screen will tell you how visible you are. Try to reach the top of the platform without being seen. Now,
That is probably the smoothest mantle warp I've ever done. That's a teleportation bug I just did.
Listen to your own footsteps to hear how much noise you are making. The instructor will have his back turned. You must get to the top of the platform without being heard. Now get your weapons. To pick up objects, select them by centering them on screen until they light up. Then use them.
I'm probably going to get a gold on training this time, purely due to that mantle warp.
Movement skills. First, climb the rope by jumping onto it. This obstacle is easy to climb if you know how. First,
Well,
move
I'd
close
like
to
that
the
up for a
wall.
moment.
Next, jump to grab the edge of the wall and pull yourself up. Good job. I am most pleased with your progress. You have passed the
Three.
last test for today. If you wish, you may stay to practice your climbing and jumping. Or
Yep, gold.
You too many to try to get by.
So this is Barford's, one of the shortest missions in the game. And the fact it's not the shortest should say something about some of the later missions. I'm actually taking the second fastest route through because the first fastest is somewhat luck-based.
Who's turn around very slow?
It's overthrown. Changes.
The issue with that damn PC is that if you save and load, then the run would not count for an IL anymore, and you can do things in a full game run that are not allowed in an IL. IL is individual level for those who don't know the speedrunning lingo. Is that the right word? Whatever. This is Crag's Cleft, the first actually hard mission, I'd say. Not the last hard mission by any stretch, and not the hardest either. But it is a bit of a pain.
Who passes there? Is that me? I heard that. Show thyself off, think not that thou shalt perish now. I see thee there.
Let's get you out.
Okay. I'm sorry I'm being very quiet, I am trying to focus. So far this has been a very, very good run. I'm slightly scared to leave this room because it means people were to see me in the corridor. Oh dear. I just need to remember to save. Saving is good.
Did something make a noise?
One thing you'll notice is I'll be able to tell how well a run is going by where people are in their patrol routes. That guy's position tells me I'm way ahead of where I thought I should be. I am fully on track right now to actually get something really good here. Oh, what? I say that and then I immediately forget what route I'm doing. I haven't even been practicing my expert route. I don't know why I had the sudden urge to go grab some loot. Still, that's really not a big issue. That's maybe 2 seconds at most. Most of that's going to be probably either completely removed by assassins or that's the thing. Right now, most of the time I have gained or lost is completely inconsequential, as assassins will pretty much decide what time I'm gonna get on its own up until that point. Because sorry, I know I'm not talking very clearly. Why didn't I drink the potion before jumping over? Oh shit.
Good thing I'm not afraid of heights.
This is why I don't like item stacking. Ah, feck. Again, not a big issue. Usually I can pull that off without any issues, but this once I had some problems. Should still be in the minuses.
Quintus, I presume.
Okay, first major luck-based challenge.
These creatures will lead me right back to whoever sent them to kill me. But only if I can tell them without them noticing me.
You've probably never seen this before, Castaris. If you know this mission, you're probably very confused. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, usually when you watch speedruns of this game, what people do is they just knock this guy out. But I'm running New Dark, so that's not actually possible. So I had to discover a new way to do this mission, so it wasn't slow. Turns out there's a thin line where you can just... Yeah, Amorphous is explaining it, I'll let Amorphous explain it. Now I can't go too far away, and I can't let them get too close or they will actually see me and the mission will fail. Because apparently they will chase you this really long distance without realising who you actually are. Because everyone in this game is an idiot. This is actually a really fast assassin so far. I might be wrong there, actually. I never expect to get that jump. There's a jump you can do where you fling yourself up onto the second floor, but the chances of pulling it off are sort of 1 in 10, and it's not worth hanging around for, so I always just try it once and hope for the best. As it's not super slow to try it once, and it can get you like 10 seconds, which is just long enough to be worth it. Ow. No, so far I don't think I've actually had to reload a save, which is good. Always forget to actually buy the speed potions here.
Stop at once and put your hands up.
Oh yeah, Assassins is a major point where you can either lose a minute or gain a minute, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it, because it's all based on the Assassin's AI. As long as you're playing New Dark, that will always be a potential run killer. Thankfully the game's still unoptimized enough that a minute isn't actually fatal, usually.
You're not one of us.
Okay, I need to make sure I actually grab enough loot. Before today I didn't... Oh yeah, as I said, it's Assassins.
Smell better.
I will remind people the time I'm currently apparently racing against is a minute faster than the time I've actually gotten at my fastest. I don't know why it's showing an outdated best time. It's not even outdated, it's literally one that was never the best. It was just the last one I did. I'm wondering if
Don't let him get me.
moving the live split to the new hardware has resulted in weirdness happening. Ow.
Garrett, you're crazy for coming down here.
Now I can get my base.
Ah, perfect, an actual clean jump over there. Do I actually... Yeah, I do. Wait, no I didn't. I just wasted a couple of seconds.
What
Ah well.
hell are you doing here?
The loot objective in this mission is an absolute pain for speedrunning because it's all in such small amounts. You always end up wondering if you've not got enough. It can be a pain to check because your inventory is fairly large. I need to decide which route I'm taking through the sword.
You're not one of us.
That's not what I quite wanted to do there. Because one thing I love about the sword is there are about 5 different viable routes at this stage. All within 10 seconds of each other.
Get over here. We have an intruder. I'm gonna rob you of your organs.
Who was that there? Christos? I don't have any money. Someone get him!
I think I'm going to get a good time on this mission.
I saw something.
Wait, why am I getting a sword? Usually I just grab an item from here, but I don't need to.
Something's going on.
Okay. The sword. My favourite mission in the game. I'm gonna go one of the more crazy routes I do. It's not paying off so far. I wouldn't. I've heard some people who prefer Haunted Cathedral, or Return to the Haunted Cathedral rather.
Time to take my new sword and get out of this crazy place.
And to be fair, Return to the Haunted Cathedral, when played properly, is pretty amazing. Though for speedrunning, it's kinda not so cool. We'll get to that later. I really don't like that mission. Right, yeah. Doing routes which I'm not entirely familiar with is kind of a bad idea. I should probably stop trying to do that. Because I lost about 5 seconds there because I forgot to be a piece of loot. So this is Haunted Cathedral. I will just ask, can everyone see this mission alright? Because it looks fine on my end, but I know this is a very dark mission, and some people have said in the past they've had trouble watching people's streams of it. Well, yeah, New Dark, it's much easier to lighten it. So this is Haunted Cathedral. My biggest worry here is that Burrock, because these Burrocks are an absolute pain, as is that spider. Of course. The issue with the Burrocks and the spider is they have a tendency to block a really tiny choke point, resulting in you getting stuck, which is an easy way to lose a significant amount of time. Thankfully this time, that didn't happen. Losing a few seconds, not a big deal. Okay, now onto Mage Towers. So for those who haven't played the game recently, we have to go through 4 towers to get to the end, and it's really slow, and one of them is just an elevator tower. Thankfully, there is an answer to this problem, which does not involve going up elevators for the rest of the game.
Your corpse shall
Yep, just making sure I did read it properly. Won't drop it because if there is a problem later on, I don't want to end up being stuck in the mission. Yeah, I fully understand that, Dan. I'm very much the same way.
He strikes as a dying wind.
Then again, I got to the stage where I couldn't really play the game normally anymore because I got so good at it. It was literally unplayable. Okay, if you've never seen this level speedrun, you're about to get incredibly confused, and I will warn you, this might hurt your eyes a little. Thankfully it's not that painful this time. And I'm now in the floor.
Darkness shall overtake.
And I might be about to die. Yeah, that one bit of terrain in the entire game lets you go into one of the room brushes, or one of the solid brushes as they're called. We have no idea why, we have no idea really how, but it gives you the unique ability to go under doors. It's actually a lot more complicated than what it looks like. It's also incredibly buggy. For example, you may notice I'm going very, very wide round parts of this room. If I go too far in the wrong direction, I will actually end up stuck in the floor. I'm not gonna know. Unfortunately, that's the only place in the game it's currently possible. There are points where you can do something very similar, but none of them are actually useful. Please get out of my way. And 1 hit point. Perfect. Because if 1 hit point, that means I've done the mission. Yes, it is efficiency. Don't worry, if I die, I simply reload one of my saves. As you can see, I'm now almost 2 minutes ahead of the time previously written, which is about a minute ahead of the time of my actual best. I don't know why LiveSplit is showing me the wrong time, but right now I'm not too bothered. So this is Lost City. In Thief Gold, it is a mission with only 1 real objective. 2 if you count Get Out afterwards. and it's, I think, the third, like maybe the third quickest mission in the game, if done as efficiently as possible. Maybe fourth. So right now it's just a question of whether I get the jumps I need in. But this is also one of the hardest missions in the game, in my honest opinion. Because this is meant to be like a little tease of where you need to go to finish the mission. But instead you can just do... Instead you can just do... this.
It's not lost no more.
Unfortunately, I had it, and then I didn't save.
This is the lost city.
Okay, save.
It's not lost no more.
I mentioned before, this is one of the hardest missions in the game, and it's entirely because of 2 jumps, and the second one is just coming up now. Yeah, I saved. Yes! As you can see, that's that. I should get a decent time relative to my previous record. Not really good either. This was a pretty terrible run, all things considered. Now, I'm gonna go with the knife, not the spoon, I'm afraid, guys. I'm sure people are going to be very upset by that.
Guess I'm not getting any information from Geary after all.
Yes, it's dead. The spoon is going to at some point come get me. I have dared to take the knife. I mean, to be fair, last time I didn't take the spoon, we saw what happened. The spoon is cursed. If you take the spoon once, you will never be able to take the knife again. Or so the legends say. I prefer how I put it, Amorphous. And now, up here.
Down on this guy a long time ago. He's the best lead I have.
Breaking the door in one hit is in theory very easy. It just requires more setup than it's worth. Like, in theory, all it needs is you to be moving at enough speed that when you like, all it takes you is to get like a bunny hop into the door and then to throw it. I think I've done it once before, but that was after a significant time setting up exactly where I needed to stand for it to work. No, you... Hitting that wall when I was trying to leave the room has actually cost me a significant amount of time because I had the speed potion on at the time, I think. So this might get a little bit more hairy than I'd like. split with damage. And on to undercover. Sorry, I'm using a microphone that's actually not attached to my headset, which is why you're able to hear my keystrokes. Don't usually do that, but occasionally those people will see you grab the first lever, which leads to them setting off the alarm early. Yes, that's down.
Has thought upon what it might be.
Very slow run this time. Ah well. Undercover's always a bit hit and miss. Serious bit of advice for people running this mission: always try and hit round that corner, because otherwise that guy will block you for like 10 seconds before either falling unconscious or dying because you've hit him loads. Another slightly tricky jump. Yep, I've got my objective. There's no loot objective here. Lucky. And I'm now 2 minutes ahead. I'm on track for a world record. So this is Return to the Haunted Cathedral. I do not like this mission. I am not friends with it. It's not a nice mission. Okay. Yeah, I know I should have tried more for the proper end, but it's not worth the hassle. Usually this mission is like 20 minutes long when played casually, so it's kind of amusing. There's such an easy... Like, there are like 5 different ways to end that mission quickly. Yeah, I do need to practice it. I'd probably be better at it if I hadn't lost 3 weeks of practice to my computer dying. Because that's one of those things which you just need to you do need to do it repeatedly to get used to it. Meanwhile, my escape has been so far flawless. My PC was broken. That RNG is unheard of. If you haven't played Escape before, you'll know that Escape, or if you haven't played it before, you won't realise how impressive that actually was, because that was entirely luck, pretty much. Like, usually you get blocked like crazy on that mission. Like, for those wondering, I will be going with the plums for the well jump at the end. Because at minus 241, plum strats just make more sense than doing something which I'm very bad at. Good. I don't really want your map, but I'll take your key. My mouse is acting weird. Okay, my mouse is back to normal now. I have never seen a monkey man there. Yeah, that's way better than doing it the normal way I do it. Use both flash bombs. I don't know why people go through the middle rather than just going back the way they came, like the way I do. Like, is the middle faster? Because I don't believe it is. It doesn't feel faster. And it means you can't bunny hop. A potential 3-minute time save if I'm able to get a good well jump. Not gonna try anything really crazy. I'll just go with the plum strats. Yeah, absolutely. For those wondering, you can do chin strats in Old Dark, and I believe it is faster than using the blackjack trick, which is not possible in New Dark. And yes, I will continue to push chin strats.
Let's not try that again.
I took flame damage from going too close to that fire elemental. Something weird happened there. I'm gonna have to go back and watch what I did, because I felt like I popped out of the floor just a second ago. So usually what people do here is they oh, okay. I'll take it.
Now that's big.
Yeah, that particular method of doing the well skip is somewhat easier, I think, than doing it straight from the top. Obviously, it won't be doable in Old Dark because it requires mantling, and if you want to try and mantle in Old Dark, then you're going to have a very bad time. I am well on pace to beat the world record. If Psychosis is watching, which he probably is,
Interesting.
I'm sorry, Psychosis. First Amorphous did it. Oh, I'm not going to pull a Psychosis, don't worry. When I kill myself, I will make sure I'm ready to kill myself. I do need to see if there's a way of getting the killing yourself strategy to work on all missions. Because I know in Old Dark, you definitely can do it on all missions, potentially. It just requires a bit of good timing. Oh shit. Yes, suicide strats are indeed going to be a thing at some point. I guarantee it. Okay. This is halfway to being the end of the run. At this point, I just need to get the eye to that pedestal there, or get my fake eye to it rather, and then wait about 4 minutes. I have actually used I have actually managed to do it in Old Dark. On my laptop, I was able to do it on the sword. And also on Haunted Cathedral. On Haunted Cathedral is actually hilarious and also massively difficult. Because what you do in Haunted Cathedral, in Old Dark, is you use a fling off of a door to land on the other side of the final room, and then you have to rush over to the note to read it. Okay. So for those who haven't been here before, all we're doing is waiting for this guy to finish his ritual, and then we kill ourselves. And it's as dull as it sounds. Having said that, I think I'm on track for a world record here. I might be wrong, but it's unlikely. Yes. We are making a suicide pact with the Chaos God. At this stage, my next goal will be to get this down to 45 minutes. So I can then say I am beating the game in 3/4 of an hour. Yes, I have. The mine is in place. I might go into it a bit late because I am confident the time is going to not be that different based on that. And honestly, as long as I get the world record, I'm really not too bothered. So what if it's 5 seconds later than it should be? And I really don't want to pull a Psychosis here. If you're wondering, Psychosis killed himself too early and so just failed the mission rather than finishing it. He did it once and he's never gonna live it down. The other reason though is because it happened right at the end and he actually split, meaning that he lost the run. $46.24. Let me go check speedrun.com. The previous world record was 48.14 or 42.53 in Old Dark. I have actually beaten the world record. I now have a world record run of Thief Gold. Not just a single level, the entire game. That feels great. Now usually I go straight into a oh yeah, stats. I'll get stats up. The run wasn't perfect. I should say that. There were mistakes made. Yes, only 14 damage. I should have taken a lot more than that. That's 40. That is about 100 damage I could have taken to make my falls faster. No healing taken. Surprise. Oh no, that's just that one mission. Total damage received 107. Now usually I'd then go into a second run at this stage. So I go into a second normal run. But I don't see much point in doing that when I already have the world record. Yeah, I could push it down by another minute maybe, if I do really well. But the chances of doing that are low. So it's currently 8 o'clock here. I have plenty of time.